pleasure to welcome you to the UW-Rock County 2015 commencement ceremony. I'm Carmen Wilson, and I have the privilege of serving as dean here. And while I have the good fortune of attending many events on behalf of the campus, commencement is by far my favorite evening of the year. Let's show our appreciation to Lynette, our wonderful pianist, for her talents. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. Some of you know this, but many of you probably do not. My husband is the chancellor at UW-La Crosse, and they had their commencement ceremony on Mother's Day, which causes a bit of consternation with the moms. But they had two ceremonies, one at 10 and one at 2. And so we had lunch reservations at 12:15 with my mom and my daughter. And he said, pick me up and back at the convention center at noon. And I said, great. So I get there at noon, and it gets to be 12:05, and it gets to be 12:10, and people seem to be coming out, but there's no Joe, so I thought I'll just give him a quick call. As it turns out, his phone was on the podium with the ringer on. So lest he try to call me, I'm going to turn my ringer off, and I hope that you all do the same. For those of you who are wondering, he did actually answer the phone and told me he was a little busy right then and couldn't talk. So, also, please feel free to take photos during the ceremony, and certainly when your graduates are crossing the stage, come right on down front so that you can get a nice photo of them. Today we will recognize the accomplishments of alumni, faculty, and staff, but most importantly, we are here to celebrate you, our students, and all of the sacrifice, hard work, dedication, perseverance, and successes that you've had here. I expect most of you would say, however, that you couldn't have done this alone. Every day I hear of the extraordinary support that our faculty and staff give to students. And in fact, today, one of our faculty members, just today, sent me a copy of an essay that a student wrote. And in that essay, she likened going to college as rowing a little boat in the ocean. And that sometimes that can feel overwhelming and you get tired. And she said, but all I need to do is to send out an SOS, and there are faculty and staff there with oars to help me keep my boat going through the rough seas. So how about we show our appreciation for everything these wonderful faculty and staff, many of whom are on stage with them for you. And then there's another group of people that we owe gratitude to. And those are the people who have supported you before you got here, while you were here, and will continue to be there for you after you leave. And that's your family, loved ones, and friends. So graduate, why don't you find your people in the audience and show them just how grateful you are for everything they've done for you. And stand up, look around. When I got my bachelor's degree, my daughter was about 3 years old, and it was a big, as Iowa State, a really big ceremony. And the ROTC, we were fortunate to have an ROTC there, and they came in to begin this ceremony, and her loudest 3-year-old voice, she says, "That guy's got a gun!" So yeah, way to go, Daddy. That's good. Okay, now we will hear a musical selection from the UW-Rock County Jazz Singers under the direction of Dr. Bryson Mortensen.
Some have changed, some
jazz singers. That was really wonderful. Each year, we present an award to a former UW-Rock County student who has taken at least 30 credits on this campus and has distinguished himself or herself in areas of community involvement, campus involvement and support, and leadership in employment or personal development. This year's recipient has excelled in all of these areas. While attending UW-Rock County for 2 years after graduating from Janesville-Craig, Scott Bordwell was active on campus with the UW-Rock County Ambassadors and basketball program. He was on the Dean's List for all 4 semesters, receiving the Scholarship Athlete Award and all-conference designation his final year. After graduating from UW-Rock County, Scott Bordwell went on to earn a bachelor's degree of business administration and finance at UW-Whitewater, and returned to Janesville to take a position with the Valley Bank. During the next 26 years, he has held several positions within the institution, which is now BMO Harris. Today, as Senior Vice President and Senior Relationship Manager, he works as the banking partner for many businesses throughout the area and supports strong community relationships. Scott has also built strong relationships for UW-Rock County. As a board member of the UW-Rock County Foundation for the past 17 years, Scott has provided untiring support of this campus. He has raised money that has supported scholarships for students, professional development for faculty, and building projects that have literally changed the face of our campus. He was involved with hiring our former dean as part of a leadership team that is carrying the foundation forward in an era where outside support of the campus is critical to our success. His community involvement also extends to his current roles on boards of Forward Janesville, the Exchange Family Resource Center, City of Janesville Police and Fire Commission, and especially dear to his heart, Chasing Chad Corporation, a nonprofit organization that offers assistance to brain cancer patients and their families in memory of his brother Chad, who passed away from a brain tumor almost 6 years ago. Past community involvement includes the boards of Crime Stoppers, Southern Wisconsin Builders Association, Downtown Development Alliance, and the City of Janesville Alcohol and Licensing Committee. He also has been a United Way volunteer, youth sports coach, and the personal economics program presenter that teaches young children about banking. Thank you, Scott, for allowing so many people to bank on you. It is an honor to present this year's Outstanding Alumni Award to Scott Bordwell.
Try to do this without making too much feedback noise. There we go. I need my cheat sheets, and I need my cheaters, I believe. So, thank you, Dean Wilson and the selection committee for this honor. Community involvement and hard work has been something that was instilled in me by my parents, and early on in my career by my employer and mentors. It has become second nature over the years, and as an alumni of this campus, this was one of the natural places for me to become involved. UW-Rock County advertises itself as the best start for the life you want. For me, that was the case 30 years ago. I'd like to say I was 10 years old then, when I started in college like Doogie Howser, but realize that most of you don't remember what Doogie Howser was. For those of you who want to know, it was Neil Patrick Harris when he was a lot younger. So anyways, how time flies. So as a new high school graduate, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do other than go to college. I was offered scholarships to attend this campus, so it was an easy decision for me to make. I figured I'd figure out the rest later. It was great. I was able to attend classes, work part-time, save money, and be involved on this campus. A lot of my friends went away to school and had to live in a closet with a stranger they didn't know, and they didn't know if they were going to get along with that person as well. I got to keep my own room, have my own space. It seemed like a no-brainer at the time. Getting involved on campus here and meeting new friends also helped a lot. So over the years, a lot on this campus has changed. We didn't have Allen Hall that you have now. Our library was in the basement of Andrews Hall, so it was like going in the dungeon to study. It was quite interesting. The engineering building is obviously new, and we've got the newer science labs and the other additions that we've done. And that was really rewarding to be part of a team that raised a portion of the money needed to help the county make the additional investments in this campus. Instead of the Rattler, we had the Unicorn. For those of you who remember, we were the Fighting Unicorns. We really didn't put much fear into our competition. I was not really surprised when they changed it to the Rattlers. There are a lot of things also that have stayed the same. Unfortunately, the parking and the gym floor are two of those things. We'll have to work on those things. Fortunately, though, some of the best things about the campus have remained the same. These smaller class sizes allow you to have relationships with your classmates and your professors who actually teach your class. Tuition is more affordable, and you get personalized service from your advisor and student services staff. It's a family atmosphere that can't be beat at any other college campus. I have a lot of fond memories of the 2 years I spent in school here, and then the last 17 years as a foundation board member. I would offer each of you a little advice when you're asked to take on a leadership role of a board. Make sure you have your replacement coming right behind you. In 2 instances in my career, I didn't do that. I was president of the foundation here for many, many years until finally I coerced somebody to take that spot, and also treasurer for another board, and I actually had to bribe my friend to take that one from me. So just remember as you go out and do those things. So as a foundation member today, I would be remiss if I didn't remind you all to remember the UW-Rock County campus after you go out and become successful. Gifts to the foundation greatly help students and faculty on this campus. I hope some of you have been helped during your time here as well. It doesn't always have to be money, as your time is also a valuable commodity. But money helps gets the bills paid and does provide you with a tax deduction, which hopefully you all will need. So in closing, I'd like to congratulate all of you on your accomplishment that you're being recognized for tonight. It's also been said of students from UW-Rock County that if you make it here, you can make it anywhere. I'm sure by evidence of you making it to this ceremony, I'm confident you're ready to take on what's next for you. Thank you.
Good evening. First of all, congratulations and thanks to Scott Wardwell, our outstanding alumni, for his accomplishments and remarks. We look forward to hearing more from you in the future. A big part of this campus is not just you, the graduates, but the people who have graduated and gone on in remembrance. I am Dr. Eric Stoner, a member of the Department of Chemistry here at UW-Rock County. As a member of the faculty, I am privileged to introduce to you the student awards portion of the ceremony tonight. Each year, we come together to recognize the accomplishments of our talented, creative, and hardworking students. In addition to the degrees presented tonight, we are also honoring students for their accomplishments within certain departments. Each year, we honor the achievements of the top student who has completed the first year of the core chemistry curriculum, Chemistry 145 and 155. These 2 classes comprise a year-long 10-credit foundation into the field of chemistry, with an emphasis on useful skills like logical thinking and mathematical reason and relationships. Students who complete these courses end up in a variety of degrees, including medicine and healthcare-related fields, biology, engineering, and of course, the other sciences and chemistry. It's not unusual for us to have future lawyers, community leaders, and public policymakers in our classes as well. On behalf of the Department of Chemistry, I'm very pleased to be able to present, to recognize the first of these students. Will Eliza Arndt please come forward? This year, Eliza was chosen for her consistent and outstanding work, going beyond simply learning the material to striving instead to really understand what is going on and understand the world of chemistry. All right, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Zach Curtis. I'm the theater professor on campus. And I first want to start by saying thank you to Dean Wilson and this administration, this campus, for valuing the arts. This is a wonderful campus for science and English and math, but also for the arts. We have a wonderful jazz choir, we have bands, we have a theater program that's thriving because of these great students out here. And today, we want to reward one of those students for their years of hard work here on campus. As a theater program, we rely heavily on students who give their time, their energy, and their passions to make great theater and great art happen. Every semester, I have numerous students, many of whom are graduating today, who give of their time as actors, technicians, artists, to make all of that happen. However, it's not every year that we have a student who has dedicated themselves so fully for show after show after show for semesters to make this program thrive. For the past 2 years, one student has stood out as a true leader in our program. Samantha Babcock has been an actress, backstage manager, designer, house manager, Student Performing Arts Association secretary, though she did the work of the president, and has always worked tirelessly with a constantly positive attitude both in campus and in the arts community. It's students like Sammy who make the theater program run and make me love my job. So thank you, Sammy, for her hard work, leadership, and positive influence on this theater program and this campus. You should be proud of the work you have done here, and I have no doubts you will do wonderful things moving on. So I'm very happy to give the Kirk Denmark Theater Award to Samantha Babcock.
Hi, I'm Tricia Clayson, communication faculty member here, and I am excited to introduce tonight's student speaker. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, 74% of all people experience some form of public speaking anxiety. In fact, glossophobia, the fear of public speaking, is the most popular phobia that exists. It ranks higher than fear of spaces, heights, spiders, and death. So I don't really know what we're thinking every year when we ask people to voluntarily do something that is worse than death. So you might imagine, though, that the people who show up are extraordinary students. And tonight's speaker, Allie Balmer, is no exception. I get really excited because she actually wrote this speech because she was bored one night. And she thought it would be fun. Now, as a speech teacher, I don't actually get to hear public speaking and fun in the same sentence very often, so if you just give me a second, I get giddy. She was actually in my public speaking class this semester, and I know what a dedicated, talented, passionate student she is. While here at UW-Rock County, she's been a part of Phi Theta Kappa, the National Honor Society. She's been a part of student government. In addition to working with autistic children, she volunteers with an occupational therapist, as well as with a Bible study group for cognitively disabled adults and youth. When she leaves here, she's moving on to UW-La Crosse to study therapeutic recreation occupational therapy, and I know she's going to do an amazing job because, as I said to her the other day, if you give her a target, she will hit the bullseye every time. I am privileged to introduce tonight's student speaker, Allie Balmer.
Hello, my fellow UW-Rock County Rattlers, friends and family. Today is the big day. Around 2 years ago is when this all started for most of us. And as I'm sure some of you graduates can relate to why I chose to come here. I chose UW-Rock County because I didn't know what to do. It was close to home, and I figured it's a small school. It won't be as hard as some of those other bigger schools, right? Wrong. I soon found out I didn't know how to manage time, be independent, and even though it's small, I still end up getting lost all the time. Pretty soon, you find yourself going to student affairs all the time, so much they know you by your first name within the first couple of weeks. It's like you're this fish that's thrown into this ocean of new experiences. And at student affairs, they go to help you. They try to get that fish swimming. And you start swimming, and as you're going along, during Fall Fest, you get free food. And you're like, I got this, I can do college. And then you join another school of fish, and you're all swimming along, having a good old time, until this wave comes crashing down on every single one of those fish. It's finals week, and it comes hard, right? And you find yourself up late crying at 1 in the morning because of John Fond's physics problem of why a box is going 30 miles an hour northeast at a 20-degree angle. Why do you care? Why are you paying to be crying at 1 in the morning? It's ridiculous. But you make it through and you go on to winter break. And over winter break, you start to think, do I want to go back? That was terrible. I was not ready for this at all. But somehow, you find yourself back second semester. And you're stressed all over again. And there's more currents you have to fight, more struggles you encounter. You have Pat Tome's film worksheets, where in order to answer the first question, you have to watch the film 5 times. You have Tom Klubertan's anatomy and physiology exams, where in order to find one word, you have to define 3 things it's not. And you have George Jones. He'll be giving a lecture in Williams, and you'll hear him in Hyatt Smith. And you're stressed, and it's ridiculous. But you keep swimming, and you realize it's not so bad. Because during Spring Fest, you get more free food. And let's not forget how the clocks are always 2 minutes slow, so even if you think you're late, you really won't be. And, then again, once you're all swimming along, that wave comes back, right? And this time it pushes you into a bunch of seaweed, and you're struggling to get out, and you're fighting. But you do it, you succeed, and you go into summer break. And a couple weeks into summer break, you read the newspaper. You see you made the dean's list. And you're like, I got this. I can do college. I will conquer this ocean. And so you go into second year with a little higher hopes. And you start collecting more shells. You start gaining more experiences. And some of those shells may be shiny, white, have a little sparkle. That could be your student government, where you get to help with Rock the Mic. It might be Phi Theta Kappa, the Honor Society. It might even be the club Altered Reality. Don't ask me what that is. And, but some of those rocks, they're not so pretty. They're brown, they're dull, they're flat. Might be the speech you failed, or the exam you didn't study hard enough for. But it's okay. Or you could even pick up a conch shell. The ones where you always hear the ocean. Except for when you pick up this one, you keep hearing Tom Klubertan's telling you that an action potential is an action potential is an action potential. They're your shells to collect, and you make them what you want, and they make you who you are. And today is the day that we swim to the top of the reef. This is what we have worked for, and for some of us, this is it. Other more important adventures lie ahead, but there's no more worries of homework or pop quizzes. But for others of us, we apparently thrive on those 2 a.m. coffee runs, and we want to have an aneurysm. We are going on to those 4-year schools. And UW-Rock County has been the most important stepping stone in us furthering our education. Education is not just what we have learned in school, but it's the experiences we've gained. It's that shell collecting that we do. It's being a fish that has taught us not to give up because we can conquer that ocean. You can learn how to be independent and how to manage time. It is possible. Be that fish that continues to swim through every ocean that you encounter. And as Dory once said, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And that's what I want each and every one of you to take away from today.
Allie, I didn't know you were going to have a fish theme, but listen, you'll see it again. I'm really sorry Dr. Klubertans isn't here today. So good evening. My name is Kim Koska, and I'm a professor in the chemistry department here at UW-Rock County. This past year, I served on the evaluations committee, which has one of the best jobs on campus. We solicit nominations for the teaching awards each year. So I'm here today to represent the Evaluations Committee in presenting the Gil Cedar Excellence in Teaching Awards. So the first award I will offer today is for our faculty member, Dr. Tom Klubertans. Tom is not able to join us here today because he is off with several research students in Canada where they are going to continue research on a red fluorescent protein that is found in muskies. At least that's the fish story he's been telling us. So instead of Tom accepting this award, it will be accepted by Carrie Rinn, who is his colleague in the biology department. Tom's nomination materials recognized him for his breadth and depth of offerings, for his development of new field biology experiences for students, and for his generosity as a colleague. Students comment on Tom's fairness, his clear expectations even at 1 a.m., and his belief that students can accomplish great things. For all of these reasons, please share your recognition of Professor Klubertans with Dr. Rinn, who will relay your tidings. Our second award for teaching excellence goes to instructional academic staff member Mike Gorman. And I'm just going to shout out for chemistry. Woo! We've got students and faculty getting awards. It's great. Mike is a member of our department, and from his nomination packet, we learned about his creativity as an instructor who encourages his students' natural curiosity. Mike allows his students to choose topics that interest them, and Mike uses those topics as the organizing scaffold for the content in the course. He was also recognized for his creative and successful approach to teaching chemistry at all levels of first-year chemistry, whether the students are studying chemistry for engineers, or working through the chemistry program for nursing students, or in the science major's first-year courses. Please join me in recognizing Mike Gorman for his inspiring work.
Set me
Just a few of our extraordinarily talented students. Thank you so much for sharing that. And now we are honored to have the Chancellor of the UW Colleges and UW Extension, Dr. Kathy Sandeen, as our commencement speaker. Chancellor Sandeen began her role just last October. Prior to joining the colleges, she served as Vice President for Education and Attainment at the American Council on Education, the nation's largest and most visible association representing all sectors of higher education. Dr. Sandeen provided oversight for the American Council on Education's efforts to increase post-secondary educational attainment, capitalizing on her expertise in technology in higher education innovation, non-traditional students, prior learning assessment, and alternative credentials. She is a passionate advocate for maintaining open access to quality education. Chancellor Sandeen has more than 22 years of leadership experience at 3 University of California campuses, including 6 years as Dean at UCLA. A prolific writer and speaker, she has published and presented widely on various aspects of education, innovation, and non-traditional students, and has received several major grants. Dr. Sandeen earned her PhD in communication from the University of Utah and a Master's of Business Administration degree from the UCLA Anderson School of Management. Please join me in welcoming Chancellor Sandeen.
Well, greetings to all our graduates, to their friends and family, to our faculty and staff. It's just wonderful to be here. And you heard Dean Wilson say that I just started this job about 5 months ago. So you are extremely special to me. I will never ever forget you because you are the very first graduation ceremony, the very first commencement address that I will have given in this job at the UW colleges. So really have a special place in my heart, I promise you. I'm honored to be with you during this really important occasion. When I heard my biography being read to you in the introduction, I can't believe that it seems like just yesterday I was sitting in a seat like yours, just starting out. This moment you should be very proud. I know you've worked very hard, you've made good choices, you've sacrificed a lot. It's taken all of that, as well as thousands of pages of reading, almost as many pages of writing, hundreds of hours of lectures, and many more hundreds of study questions, projects, and papers that you've written. A lot of juggling everything. Many family obligations and celebrations missed because you had to study. Of getting out of your comfort zone, of thinking that you can't possibly do it, of a lot of sleep lost along the way while you're studying. All of this and more as you work toward this goal. And I can relate to that myself. I know all of this because I've lived it. I'm what you call a first-generation college graduate, and I think some of you in the audience are as well. Neither of my parents attended one day of college. And in fact, my father dropped out of high school in order to join the military in World War II. I had goals and dreams like you, and I had to figure it out on my own. You know, I didn't have people to guide me, but fortunately, I lived in a state, in my case it was California, and I found a university that could help me, one that cared about me, one very similar to UW-Rock County, so we have that in common as well. Flash forward a bit. Later in my life, after I was already working, I went back to school as an adult student to earn another degree. Crazy, huh? But you'll be surprised. You might be doing that as well. I had a full-time job at the time. I had 2 daughters. I had a very busy life. I had a long commute to go to school. So I know what it takes to juggle all those things. I know many of you who are earning your degrees tonight have done that as well. A lot of time studying, a lot of sleep lost again. But I can tell you, standing here right now, not a day goes by that I don't say to myself, it was worth it. It was all worth it. It was a blessing, and I'm grateful. I would not be standing here right now as the chancellor of this great institution in one of the finest university systems in the whole world. I'm not kidding. University of Wisconsin is the gold standard for higher education around this country and around the world. It is. And we need to keep it that way. Just a little editorial comment. I worked hard, of course, just like you worked hard, but I'm grateful. I think many people helped me along the way. And I know you already thanked the wonderful faculty and staff here on the stage with me, and you turned around and you thanked your family and your friends, and I would like to do that too, because I know it takes a lot of support in order to create one graduate. It's customary in a commencement address for the speaker, me, to give advice to the new graduates, and so I will do that. I'll keep it short, so I only have 3 pieces of advice to you, and I hope you'll listen really carefully. I mean, it's also customary that as soon as the commencement address is given, you forget what they said, but I'm going to try to change that tonight with you. So listen closely, because at the end of this, there will be a little quiz. Wow. So my first piece of advice is this. Oh, that was my medallion clanking up against the podium. I have to be careful with that. My first piece of advice is this. Take risks. So I'll repeat that. Take risks. And I don't mean taking physical risk like jumping out of an airplane kind of taking risks. I mean taking life risks. So you're already pretty good at this, and we heard in the speech kind of some ideas about this. You know, walking in here the first time and really not knowing what you're going to do, really getting out of your comfort zone, wondering whether you can do it at all, and then proving to yourself that, yeah, I can do this. That's a great example of stepping up and taking a risk and learning from it. So don't forget that feeling as you go through life. You'll be presented many other opportunities for taking risks. And think about how good you felt and what you learned from the experience. Many of you may have heard of a woman named Helen Keller. And if you've forgotten, here's a quick review. She was born deaf and blind, and she grew up to complete her bachelor's degree despite all of that, and to become a writer and an activist. About risk, Helen Keller has said, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all." And think about all the risks that she had to take in her life. Again, what she said is, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. So again, my first piece of advice, like Helen Keller says, take risks. My second piece of advice is give back. That is, give back. As I mentioned earlier, we have all relied on other people to help us get where we are today. And it's a wonderful thing, truly, to be able to accept that help and to be grateful and to say thank you. But I think it also obligates us to help others, to give back in different ways. And I also know that besides all of your studies, many of you have volunteered for good causes, volunteered, tutored other students. You're already in the practice of giving back. So I'm sure it felt really good to do that. And I think, like many things in life, giving back is a habit that needs to be cultivated. I feel like I'm so fortunate because part of my job, and I think that our faculty and staff feel the same way, our jobs are giving back and giving to you. And it's wonderful if you can find a job that you can do that. But even if you don't, there's many ways that you can do that. So as you move on in your school and careers, and as you begin to build your own lives, have families, remember the practice of giving back. And it may not mean, giving $1 million, although to a good cause. Although if you can do that, way to go. Good, happy for you. You can give back in many little ways that count a great deal. So let me give you another quote, this time from the American essayist and poet Ralph Waldo Emerson. And about giving back, he said, "To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived, this is to have succeeded." So again, my second piece of advice is give back. So let's review. First piece, take risks. Second piece, give back. My third piece of advice is Be kind. Be kind. I don't know about you, but as I read the newspaper, watch news, listen to the radio, I'm increasingly dismayed by the conflict and lack of civility that I see. I know that most of you have studied American history, and you probably remember that our country is really built upon the premise of rigorous open debate, but respectful and civil debate. We have not always been perfect as a country, but the idea of civility has been a bedrock principle for us. Civility means we may not completely agree with each other, but we will treat each other with respect, we will listen to each other, we will try to find a middle ground, a meeting of the minds. I worry that we're losing that a little bit. I worry that conflict, mistrust, a lack of willingness to enter into dialogue is a problem. I know that here at UW-Rock County, we work very hard so that you have a safe and civil learning environment. Here at the university, we model what it means to be a civil society. So in your classrooms, you've been exposed to both sides of important debates. You've probably taken part in some of those debates as well. You have opened your mind to possibilities. You have met and studied with people who are completely different from yourselves, and you have learned a lot from them. You've been able to search for your own truth because of the environment that we created. At the end of the day, I think civility is about kindness. It's about stopping for a slight moment, a nanosecond really, and thinking about the feelings of the other person. This is a very important trait. Again, as you go through your life and become as successful as I know you will, please do not forget about the great importance of civility and basic human kindness. And to this, I'd like to give you another quote, this time by the author Henry James. He once said, "3 things in human life are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. And the third is to be kind." How true. So again, in review, my 3 pieces of advice are: take risks, give back, and be kind. And now here it is, your last official quiz at UW-Rock County. Now it's an oral quiz, so shout out your answers. The first piece, and the audience can participate too if they want. The first piece of advice is take risks. Good, louder. The second piece of advice is give back. Great. And the third piece of advice is be kind. All right, I officially give you an A+. I'm the chancellor, so I think I'm allowed to do that. So congratulations. Again, congratulations to all of you for all you have done. Go forth and do wonderful work, do great things. We will be following you. Please come back and tell us how you're doing. You got your start right here at UW-Rock County. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Sandine. And now here's the moment we've really all been waiting for. Will the first row of graduates please stand and come forward? These students are receiving the University of Wisconsin College's Associates of Arts and Sciences degree. Dr. Stephen Schmidt, University of Rock County's Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, will present the students. And again, please feel free to come down and take pictures of your graduates.
And first tonight we have Ali Balmer. She is going to lacrosse and is studying occupational therapy. And Samantha Babcock is heading to UW Whitewater and is studying English. Kelsey Randall is transferring to UW Oshkosh to study sociology. Samantha James is going to study communication disorders at UW Whitewater. Brittany Teskey is headed to study criminal justice to some unknown place. And Allegra Rowland is going to UW-Milwaukee to study sign language. Elizabeth Gonzalez is going to UW-Whitewater and is majoring in Spanish. Andrew Topol is studying engineering. And Cynthia Olson is going to UW-Whitewater to study psychology. Preston Ames is heading to UW-Whitewater for social work. Ilsa Sidney Block is headed to Roosevelt University to study hospitality management. And Levy Cousin is going to UW-Platteville for electrical engineering. Karen Insulia is studying psychology at UW-Whitewater. And Carrie Ann Tews is going to UW-Whitewater for accounting. Taylor Tews is going to Blackhawk Tech for ultrasound tech. And Gabriela Marcagula is our wonderful IT person. She is going to UW-Whitewater for marketing and information technology. Rebecca Perch, studying psychology at Whitewater. Dylan Gray, studying business at UW-Whitewater. Megan Cole, studying plant biology at Whitewater. Tad Drain is heading to UW-Whitewater to study chemistry. Patricia Neither is studying nutritional science at UW-Madison. Caitlin Minders is studying business at Whitewater. Raquel Amalio Cottle, screw that one up, excuse me, is studying social work at George Williams College. And Tessa Baki is going for dental hygienist at MATC in Madison. And Mitch Hazy is studying physical education at Whitewater. Cassandra Gervais is studying healthcare administration at Whitewater. Faith Connor is heading to Whitewater for business management. Melissa Hubbard is studying biology and pre-dental at UW-Madison. Heidi Hamilton is going to extra photo. Heidi Hamilton is studying nursing at Eau Claire. Alessandra Colon is studying animal science and vet medicine at UW-Madison. Shanna Morris is heading to UW-Whitewater to study English. Clinton Greer is going to Whitewater for social work. Sydney Winchester is finishing her bachelor's degree in the near future, which is wonderful. Sarah Sullivan is studying psychology. Elizabeth Bakey is going to Rock Valley College for a surgical technology degree. Neil Bollinger is heading to UW Cross for archaeology. And Jasmine Christopher is going to Blackhawk Tech to be a computer technician. Susan Olson is studying nursing at St. Anthony College of Nursing. Michael Knipple is studying public relations at UW-Whitewater. And Diana Aranda is studying psychology at UW-Whitewater. Sandra Peklo is going to start working after her associate's degree. And Teresa Kessler is heading to UW-Whitewater for social work. Nicole Mitness is going to UW-Whitewater to study geology and environmental science. Morgan Ferguson, studying business management at UW-Whitewater. Cara Johnston is studying business at Stevens Point. Rihanna Damara Ford is undecided but thinking about culinary school in Georgia. And Gabriela Meldo is heading to UW-Whitewater to be a Spanish teacher. Morgan Williams is headed to UW-Whitewater for criminology. And Michelle Stowe says she's already at Whitewater studying social work. Victor Moreno is headed to UW-Whitewater for business. And Jose Moreno is also at UW-Whitewater for business. And Moises Almanza is headed to UW River Falls for biotechnology. Rolando Ortega Campa is studying electrical engineering at Platteville. And Ronald Romala is finishing his associate's degree. Will be pursuing new adventures sometime soon. And Braylon Ward is headed to Whitewater for accounting. Jordan Snyder, one of my favorite students, is finishing his associate's art degree and pursuing new adventures as well. And Danielle Dorweiler is studying radiography at Blackhawk Tech. Teresa Dalba is studying nursing at UW Parkside. Maria Olvera, social work at UW-Whitewater. Alyssa Grothy is going to Blackhawk Tech for sonography. And Emily Christensen is studying radiography at Blackhawk. Elizabeth Schilf is undecided what her new adventure is going to be. Vince Brzinga, studying forestry at UW Stevens Point. Nolan Gunnick is studying film. Michael Wicks, agriculture education at UW River Falls. And Megan Kirkpatrick is going to University of New Orleans to study biology. Jamie Christofferson is studying nursing at Princeton University. Jamie Singletary is going to nursing school. He is going to UW-Whitewater to study sociology.
You know, this has been a really wonderful evening, and it would not be possible without the fabulous work of many, many people on campus, including Karen Greenler, our Master of Ceremonies, Bill Murray and our other technical staff, and our planning committee, Sarah Sadakok, Sarah Gantz, Susanna Hernandez, Mary Lee Kishel, Carrie Hermanson, and Danielle Miner. Let's please thank them for all their hard work. You know, as I was thinking about my closing remarks, I was reminded of a conversation that I had with a former colleague, and he told me that he would tell students, you know, they can take away your house, they can take away your car, believe it or not, they can even take away your cell phone. But the thing that they can never take away from you is the education that you have gotten here at UW-Rock County. You know, Kristen Philhauer, our Assistant Dean of Students, if you've never been in her office, it's probably a good thing actually, but she's a really great person and she has lots of fun quotes in her office. And one of them that I find particularly helpful as I think about my role in the world is I hope that you go in the world to do well, but more importantly, go into the world and do good. It's a quote by Minor Myers. I know you will use the experiences you have had here and what you have learned here to go far. And when people ask you, where did you go to school? You're going to say, UW-Rock County, right? We're also extremely proud in each and every one of you, and we hope you will keep in touch. We're always eager to hear about your successes, as well as your challenges. And remember, if there's ever anything that we can do for you, you can always count on us, because we have, and I'm slightly biased, but I know that I'm right, the very best faculty and staff in the entire state of Wisconsin. And they care about you now, and they will continue to do so. So once again, congratulations, and I wish you the best of luck. But there's one last thing we need to do. All right, so graduates, please stand. By the virtue of the authority delegated to me by the Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin Colleges, the President of the University of Wisconsin System, and the Board of Regents, I confer upon you the degree of Associates of Arts and Sciences with all the rights and privileges therein. Graduates, please move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations again. This concludes our ceremony. If the audience members would please remain seated until the faculty, staff, and graduates exit the stage, we'd be most grateful. And then feel free to join us upstairs for some refreshments so we can continue the celebration. Thank you.